Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my last pregnancy update for this pregnancy. Now, last pregnancy update, I had said that there's a possibility that this was going to be our last pregnancy update because I do it every 4 weeks and I'm 36 weeks pregnant, so I've never made it to 40 weeks with each of my pregnancies. However, in the last week or so, a lot has happened in this pregnancy, and now it is absolutely confirmed that this will be my last pregnancy update. So we have a lot to talk about. I'm really relieved that I'm able to make this video because I can sit down and really share with you how everything played out, sort of just kind of bring you up to speed so that you can kind of understand what is going on and whatnot. So as of Friday, last Friday, today it is Thursday, as of last Friday, I was diagnosed with something called ICP, and I'm gonna be referencing my phone because I want to be able to give you like real accurate information. A really great source for ICP info is icpcare.org. Just to let you know, I will link it below for you. ICP stands for intrahepatic cholestasis of pregnancy, and ICP is actually a group of liver disorders specific to pregnancy which interfere with the flow of bile. Bile is a substance produced by the cells of the liver to aid in digestion of fats. During normal liver function, the bile which is produced is transported out of the cells and into the bile duct by special pumps. During intrahepatic cholestasis of pregnancy, the cells are unable to transport the bile out of the cells normally, which leads to bile acids building up in the blood. Those bile acids that are building up in my bloodstream, ooh, hi. It's the baby. I have to, sorry, I'm looking at my phone again now because I have to document every time that I feel the baby move, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Now, the bile acid that is building up in my bloodstream can be very dangerous for the baby and cause a stillbirth, and that risk of stillbirth increases as you progress in your pregnancy. I don't know exactly what is like the unit of measure for bile acid, but I know like the numerical values, so I'm going to share those with you. Before I get into more detail, let me just quickly explain to you that it seems like with ICP there's new findings almost every month. It's almost like it's been around for a long time, but I feel like it's becoming more and more understood. So a lot of things differ and vary depending on where you're located, depending on who your doctor is, depending on the labs that you use. It's all very different. But what I've seen and what icpcare.org says is that the numerical value of 10 on your test to 40, you have to deliver at 37 weeks gestation, or at least try to get to 37 weeks. If your numbers go above 40 to 100, I've seen 36 weeks pregnant is when you want to try to deliver the baby by, and anything over 100 is sort of at discretion for your pregnancy. Basically, the only way to actually get rid of ICP is to deliver the baby. So I have officially been diagnosed with ICP, and that was as of Friday, but I had gone into my 35-week appointment with my midwife, and I explained to them that my itchiness had come back, but it had come back full force. With Cooper's pregnancy, my first child, I had always had itchiness like this, very, very itchy, and I was actually tested for ICP, but that was 4 years ago, over 4 years ago, and there really wasn't as much information as there is right now about it. So that I was tested, I think, once or twice, and they kind of just brushed it off as me not having it. I'm still curious to see what my numbers were for that pregnancy, and I am going to look into it. However, thank God I was able to deliver my baby at 39 weeks. I went into spontaneous labor with my water breaking, and I was able to have him safely earthside. It seemed to have skipped my daughter's pregnancy, and it's back with this pregnancy, and I have had severe itching since 20 weeks pregnant. However, around I think it was 24 to 26 weeks, I had developed a really yucky rash, and it looked sort of like a pup's rash on my belly. So my midwife diagnosed me with PUPS because I was itching and I had the rash that looked just like PUPS, and that was that. And it actually seemed, when the rash went away, which PUPS doesn't usually go away, but when my rash went away, it seemed like the itchiness went away as well. And I just carried on the pregnancy like nothing was wrong. Only around 32 to 33 weeks did I really start to get itchy again. And I was like, oh no, here we go. And it seemed like every single day it was getting worse and worse. Not only was my belly itchy, my arms itchy, my tops of my hands were itchy, but my palms were starting to get itchy, my ankles and the arches of my feet were starting to get itchy, and that is a huge indication of cholestasis. So I knew that it was definitely something that I had to bring up to my doctor when I had my appointment. So I did, and we decided that it would be smart to test me for cholestasis of pregnancy. They tested me, however, there's two different tests that you can do. One of them just looks at your general liver function, and the other one tests your actual bile acids. The bile acids test was supposed to come back weeks from now. Apparently it just takes a really long time. I'm not exactly sure. For me, it actually only took 3 business days. Before my test had even come back, we had already gone ahead and diagnosed me based off of symptoms in my other lab work with cholestasis of pregnancy. At that appointment, she had told me to just keep an eye on it. If it got worse, to let them know, and to just sort of take it day by day and see what happened, and we'll wait for the results to come back. So that happened, and that night after my appointment was by far the worst night. Now, oftentimes with ICP, it's the worst at nighttime, overnight, and then it's also the worst when you get out of the shower. And while this isn't confirmed, they suspect that it's bad overnight because of different hormonal shifts that happen overnight time when you're sleeping, etc. But then they do know that after, when you get out of the shower, especially if it's a warm shower, that will open up your blood vessels, and then a cold shower closes your blood vessels. So cold really helps with cholestasis. As a way of relieving the itchiness, I will use an ice pack directly onto my skin, and it seems to really help when I'm having an itchy part of my body that's just way too itchy for me to handle. So that night after was the worst. It was really bad. I got a horrible night's sleep. I was extremely itchy. I was very scared and nervous because my symptoms were just so textbook. And the itch is just almost, it's different than your typical scratching or itching. The way I've been describing it is it feels like fire ants, just your body's covered in fire ants, and it's just biting. They're just all biting you, and it's this prickly, pinching, painful itchiness that you just can't seem to relieve, and nothing works. No creams, no oils. And you guys know, I've talked about this in the past couple of videos, nothing, I've tried everything to try to just relieve my itchiness. And I think that the reason why my hemp lotion would help is because the hemp lotion just seems to stay cold for some reason. It's like a cold cream. And then out of the shower, what I was doing was using the in-shower lotion on my body, but then I was turning the water really cold to rinse that off my body. And I think that it was actually the really cold water that was helping me not be as itchy when I got out of the shower, not actually the in-shower lotion. So I think that is actually the reason why I found relief with those two things, because I did notice one day I didn't feel like going downstairs and getting an ice pack, so I was like, let me try my lotion again, and I really felt the hemp's lotion, and I was like, it's cold, it makes sense, I have to put on 3 or 4 layers of this cream, but I'm continuously adding cold, 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 cold to my skin, and I feel like that is what was helping me reduce the itchiness. So nothing works really to get rid of the itchiness, and you can not be itchy like during the day that much and then at nighttime have like horrible itching spells. Every day is different for me. I've had really, really horrible days. Yesterday was a really bad day. I've had really simple, easy days. Nighttime seems to be consistently worse, although I'm now on a medication that is helping. So I have been gradually having an easier time at nighttime going to sleep with like the itchiness. So that morning after I had that really horrible night, the next day after my appointment, I contacted my midwife's office. And I said that I had some follow-up questions for the midwife. I wanted to talk to her if she could give me a call back, and I actually never heard back from her that whole day. That following night, I had another really horrible, horrible night. Really scared, really uncomfortable, couldn't sleep at all. My skin was just so severely itchy. I was up all night with ice packs all over my body, just trying to just get some relief. By Friday morning, I called the midwife's office again and said that I had never heard back from the midwife. I have multiple midwives in my practice. I'd never heard back from the midwife, and I would really love it if I could talk to somebody because I'm having like very more severe symptoms of ICP and it's starting to scare me and I just want to talk to someone. Midwife ends up calling me back within like a half an hour, somebody else. And bless her heart, she called me right when I was hysterical. I was sobbing. I was breaking down. I was losing it. I was emotional. I was so emotionally drained. I was just crying, guys. You know those sobs, the noises when you just sob? And I was just raising my white flag. I was scared. I think it was pretty clearly evident at that moment that I had ICP. Whether I had diagnostic testing to prove it or not. She hears me, I say hello. She asks me, oh my gosh, are you okay? And I just said, no, I'm not okay. I was like, I don't know how to say this. I don't know, I'm so tired. I don't know what else to say, but I know I have ICP. There's no way that I'm experiencing these symptoms and it's something else. I was like, my hands, my feet, just everything. It's just horrible. It's absolutely horrible. I feel like I have bugs all over my body. It is just horrible. And she said, okay. She said, listen to me. You are in good hands. We've got this. We are going to diagnose you with ICP based off of symptoms. She was like, we are completely content doing that because you've had these exact symptoms with one of your other pregnancies. It's not like it's an environmental thing, you know, it's not like my home or the type of detergent that I'm using or whatnot. You know, we've already gone through all of those things and now I live in a new home. It's not even like, you know, there's mold in my old house and I'm just, you know, sensitive to it while pregnant. It's, you know, there's enough factors and then enough textbook symptoms for them to be able to just diagnose me right off the bat. And because of how dangerous it is and how scary it is for your child, your unborn child, they said, we are going to get you to 37 weeks, 0 days, and you're going to be induced and you're going to have this baby then. They also sent over a prescription for something called, I'm probably going to mispronounce it, but it's Ursidol, but it's a medication that helps reduce your bile acids. And they put me on that right away, started taking it that day. And I've been on it ever since. They had me go in that day on Friday for my first non-stress test, and baby was healthy and fine, doing well. Then they scheduled me for 2 other non-stress tests for this week. I have one on Monday, and then from Tuesday to Friday will be one of the days I will be delivering. Now they're probably not going to have me go to Friday because then I will be 37 weeks in 1 day. So it's pretty much going to be, depending on hospital scheduling, it's going to be the 19th to the 22nd. Those are going to be one of the days that we're going to be going in, and I'm going to be getting induced. We still don't have a definite date just yet. Later today I have the appointment with the maternal fetal specialist, And then I also have an ultrasound with them. And then I also have another non-stress test today. So we're going to figure out all of those things. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to update you on any of that. But if you would like to know how that went, you should definitely follow me on Instagram, because I will be putting all of this information into an ICP highlight on my Instagram, and then you can go ahead and you can kind of get updated over there. As my lab results, they have come back officially, and I diagnostically have now been, it's been confirmed that I have ICP. And the scary thing is that my numbers were relatively high even for accidentally fasting. My itchiness and my symptoms have gotten way more severe since then as well. So I'm very grateful that I decided to go onto the medication, because that should help reduce my bile acids and help keep baby safe. I am delivering next week. It could be as soon as Tuesday, it can be as late as Friday, and I am nervous. I'm really nervous, guys. Other than my itchiness, I have been feeling really good. I've had a little bit of heartburn, a little bit of nausea, but it's nothing crazy. I've been very emotional, obviously, very scared. These are all symptoms, though not of pregnancy, just from the current situation that's going on. I've had a little bit of swelling in my feet. I had a little bit of a dizzy spell on Sunday. I think I'm just like so emotional that things are just kind of like affecting me a little bit more sensitively. If you could just keep us in your prayers, and I'm just praying every day that I feel this baby move. You know, I think there might be like a little bit of a misunderstanding with my prior videos. I think most people think that I'm most upset or scared over the fact that I'm having an induction, and while that is different for me and weird and definitely not the birth plan that I had in mind, that's not the scary part about this. The scary part is that at any moment, any second, my body could attack my baby and kill it. That very blunt reality is what is the scariest part about this. So I've had a few comments of people saying like, what are you so scared of? It's not a big deal. You're just going to deliver at 36 weeks or 37 weeks or whatever. 36 weeks and a half. A lot of babies like are perfectly fine, don't need NICU time. Like, this is making it a bigger deal than it is. That I don't care. The scary part is that bile acids can change so rapidly that all of a sudden my baby could just stop moving, and then a few hours go by and I realize that I haven't felt my baby, and then the worst case scenario happens, you know? So it's feeling like a ticking time bomb, and trying to make the right decision between waiting long enough for my baby to have enough growth and be healthy enough to deliver, not going too long and putting my baby into like a dangerous situation. So that's the scariest part. But yeah, so that is it. That is ICP. That is what I've been diagnosed with. You could just keep us all in your prayers. And if you would like to, you can follow me over on Instagram, because you'll be getting a lot more updates there. You'll not only be getting a lot more updates about ICP and what's going on with that, but you'll also get to have like updated info on the day that I'm actually getting induced. You'll see behind the scenes of like everything going on there, us at the hospital and whatnot. You'll probably see the baby there for the first time instead of on here, just because I don't know exactly when I'm going to be able to get any videos out here. My foot is like so dead right now because I'm just like sitting down. What is that? I'm gonna show you guys my bump. My last bump. Well, let me see if I can get out my foot. I'll show you this big ol' belly bump. I met an old man. I said, tell me your story. He took out a notepad and wrote something for me. Then he kept walking on down the road, and I watched him disappear like smoke.
I looked down at what he wrote. It said, son, when you grow up you'll be fine. I know you've got questions on your mind. Life is gonna